right, enough Barca and enough Paris Saint-Germain. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Liverpool fall away to Galatasaray and Victor Osimhen 1-0. Jules, 2 defeats on the spin now.
Yeah, it's on ARNE SLOT. This one for me, every day of the week. I just don't understand the starting lineup. I don't understand Frimpong, a right winger, and drop Mo Salah. I don't understand Szoboszlai, a right back in a game like this. I can understand why you would want Szoboszlai or somebody like Szoboszlai, a right back for sure, because you've struggled with the balance of your team defensively and especially in possession, the way you build up the game now that Trent has gone. But everything that you might gain with Szoboszlai playing in that position for your build-up phase and in possession, you lose because he just can't defend. He never played right back until he played earlier in the season. I don't think that midfield worked at all with Curtis Jones in a game like this. I mean, it was Gundogan and Lucas Torreira, and they bossed the game. They bossed your midfield, and you're Liverpool.
Yeah, so you basically have a guy who's really old and a guy who's really unathletic, but it's two guys who can pass, and you've got 2 very athletic players in Gab and Jones, and they got pulled everywhere. Jones, I thought, lucky not to get sent off as well.
I think so too.
This could have been a lot worse. Also, Paris Yilmaz, did they not watch film on him beforehand?
No, you would think they would, but I don't know. Maybe they were surprised by the intensity. I really don't know. I really think that this team selection from Slot also, as a player, just doesn't put you in confidence either. And
I think he played the percentages, Jules. I think he said, all right, worst comes to worst, we get a draw here.
Yeah.
But it's really bad if we lose to Chelsea at the weekend and go into the break. I don't know. But I also don't know that if you get the current Salah, if that's going to make much of a difference.
No, I know. But still, it's still a big game. It's a Champions League game. I don't think you should drop him. But the last season, the only time they lost 2 games in a row, and it was back in March. So they had to wait all the way from August to March before losing 2 at home to PSG in the Champions League second, and then the League Cup final against Newcastle. This is still September, and they lost 2 in a row before going to Chelsea.
Manchester City even twice take the lead and twice get pegged back before settling for a 2-2 draw against an injury-riddled Monaco. Jules, Pep is not happy about that Tijani Reinders on Eric Dyer penalty.
Yeah, it was Nico Gonzalez. Yeah, because I think he says he's got.
They look the same, Nico.
Yeah, and he says he gets the touch on the ball first before hitting Dyer in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get that. And we saw Pope getting to the ball touching the ball before barging into Gyökeres at the weekend, and that was not given a penalty. I think it's a dangerous play. I think it's a penalty for me. Bernardo Silva said that Dyer dived on French television. I was like, really?
Okay, so the boot is up above his head. It's not like Eric Dyer is lowering his head.
I agree.
There's no question about it. What I thought was funny was, 1, that it was Eric Dyer. 2, that Eric Dyer then took the penalty. 3, that when he goes to take the penalty, he's got stuff on his forehead. And I looked at him like, oh, wow, he must have and
his nose is massively red as well because he got kicked in the nose.
Yeah, but the stuff on his forehead, that's grass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you don't wipe your brow after this? You just want to make sure people see the grass on your... I don't think Manchester City played that badly. I thought Monaco...
second half was bad.
I thought Monaco played, but they had the game in hand. And I think that's what's frustrating. They should have put the game away.
Yeah, but they didn't have that many chances in the second half. They stopped playing. Haaland said after the game, we didn't deserve to win this. We were not good enough in the second half, and he's right. And there's a bit of a pattern there where they take the lead and get pegged back. And there's a pattern there as well where they can't have the consistency over the 90 minutes of them playing well.
Mikel Arteta rotates his squad, and Arsenal beat Mr. Marinakis and Olympiacos 2-0, Jules. But I'm guessing he won't have been happy at all with that second half performance. This got very, very nervy.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Raya with an amazing save on Daniel Podence' volley. And Arsenal maybe just taking it a bit lightly for granted in that second half. They were good. They were very good at times. Moved the ball really well. Odegaard was sharp, outstanding. And really, Arsenal should have been 2 or 3-0 up. But they were not until late. And Olympiacos could have come back.
I think very lucky as well with the disallowed goal. Yeah. Not that it was definitely offside. It was very, very close. But you can't plan on that.
Yeah.
And I think it was very telling that he sent on Timber, Saka, and who else did he send on? Somebody else who's good.
Rice.
And Declan Rice, yes. Yeah. Send on the adults.
Yeah,
I think this is a missed opportunity for the guys who were out there. I don't think they cover themselves in glory, other than Lewis Kelly had some good attacks.
Yeah, maybe. Jose Mourinho's return to Stamford Bridge doesn't go as planned, Gab. Chelsea down Benfica 1-0.
This is a big win for Enzo Maresca when you look at it in context, coming on off the back of the defeats, and then obviously Liverpool coming up next. Again, there's still an evident Palmer dependency at Chelsea, and he's not there, and things fall apart. I don't know what purpose Mark Yu serves. I'm not sure Facundo Buonanotte, this is the right place for him to grow. Yeah. But hey, you got a decent half hour from Garnacho. That's not nothing. And look, they're an emergency right now for him. It's about results. As for Jose, my favorite bit was when Enzo went to take a corner kick, and the Benfica fans were all insulting him and throwing things. Of course, he took the stage and he told them, like, stop it, calm down. Spurs need a fortuitous own goal to come back from 2 goals down away to Bodo Glimt after Jens Peter Hauge scores 2 worldies and Kasper Huch misses a penalty. Jules, time to get off the Thomas Frank Express.
I thought it was really poor from Spurs for most of it. He made some changes that didn't really work in his starting lineup again. They really should have been 4-0 down at some point in this game because Bodo Glimt were all over them. And it's not easy, I understand, to go there, although Spurs went there and on the ERNE last season in the Europa League and won. It's not easy to go there, the plastic pitch, the small stadium atmosphere, everything you want. Okay, I get that. But still, they were not good at all. And it's a miracle that they get a point.
By the way, the Jens Peter Hauge goals.
Oh my God.
Talk about putting people on backside stuff. This guy is ridiculous.
Yeah, but it didn't work for him abroad. You know, he tried, went to Italy, went to Milan, went to Germany. So you could say, okay, Italy, maybe not for him. Germany, for him. I thought
Eintracht would have been the perfect
Exactly, but no, it didn't work and goes home. Berg, the same. It's really strange.
Quite the response from Newcastle, Jules, as they beat up Union Saint-Gilloise 4-0. A victory for Geordie Hart over the analytics nerds.
Yeah, a bit of that. I mean, I think in those kind of games, if you let the team at home in their stadium, and Union Saint-Gilloise are doing really well in their own league in Belgium.
Was that their stadium, or did they have to play in the big stadium?
They play. That's where they play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just think that if you get them that kind of confidence, but when you scored early like Newcastle did, it's a bit of a lucky goal. Tonali strike, Voltemade kind of flicks it in. It makes it so much easier for a team like Newcastle, and then they just blew them away. So really good win for them.
Yeah, and I think also when Anthony Elanga shows up, even if he's chaotic, he creates chaos. And I was disappointed though in Union.
Yeah. More Newcastle. Bloomberg reports that the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, who owned the club, is looking for lenders to fund a new stadium. Gab, more evidence that they're not willing to just cut big checks?
Yeah, I think when it comes to certain investments, people think, oh, look, they're just a bunch of idiots. Look, they're building a line in the desert, Neom, all this nonsense, Monjera, or whatever the hell their ski resort's called. No, I think chickens are coming home to roost. They're saying, how can we be smart with this? They've already spent $305 million to take over the club. That's $462.9 million worth of equity, including $106 million in their latest round. They're saying, we're going to run this like a business, and we're not just going to write checks. And if it means borrowing money to build a stadium, so be it.